Okay, today I'm going to talk about this, Street of Thieves by Matthias N.R., published by Fitzcarraldo Editions, a small British press, who have recently published this, which is A Zone by Matthias N.R., a novel I've spoken about to lots of people because I think it's one of the most important novels published in a very long time and one of the most important pieces of literature published ever. And I believe that deeply. Both novels are translated by Charlotte Mandel, and both are a little short of miracle in terms of their translations. Translation is a very tough thing to do, and Matthias N.R. does not write books that are particularly amenable to translation, but you feel that she's absolutely got to the heart of the narrative and style and tonality of both novels. But I'm here to talk about this one, Street of Thieves. It's a first-person narrative about a young man in Tangier. His name is Lakhdar, and it's set against the Arab Spring. It looks at the immigrant experience in the sense it's set in Tangier and then through Spain and ends in Barcelona. It looks at the radicalization of youth. His writing has been compared to other French writers of the mid-20th, early to mid-20th century, Camus and Céline, or Celine, I think it's probably Céline. But I'm not sure that's right. I think they have a lack of affect in their prose, a kind of deadness of aspect that N.R. doesn't have. There is a vitality in his work, a redemptive quality. I sense that life has meaning, and in both books, despite the depth of despair in Zone and some very tough moments in Street of Thieves, the characters do possess a kind of drive, and more in Street of Thieves, I think, a sense of kind of joy and engagement with the world. I mean, Lakhdar is a young man. I'm not going to talk about plot because I don't want to spoil anything. But he loves detective novels. He likes to drink beer. He and his friend Bassam like to look at girls. And I do think that if those other French writers had chosen to write this book, they would have chosen his best friend Bassam, who, without giving much away, finds himself being radicalized. But Lakhdar isn't that. Lakhdar is actually looking for a world to be free and to express himself, to be left alone, to be a young man. It doesn't. The world isn't easy if you're a poor immigrant, especially if you're an illegal poor immigrant. But he does keep on going, and I mean, I don't spoil things. I'm going to sound slightly vague, but he moves on each time. Each time, life seems oppressive and unfair, and whatever. He presses on and finds the reasons to live. We all find reasons to live, which is certain friendship, the amusement of other people, love. And all of those things. So it's actually, it is less like The Outsider, and more like Catcher in the Rye. I mean, I'm sure almost no one will agree with that position, but I think there is something, there is something about the inner life of Lakhdar, which is not desperate. His outer world is desperate, but not his inner life. And for most of the time, he does things out of love, which would not be the case with mid 20th century French writers. But anyway, I can't say any more because I don't want to give much away. But I think it's a wonderfully human novel, and if it is not as extraordinary as Zone, then nothing else is anyway. So he set himself an impossible bar. But I think if you're interested in modern French literature, if you're interested in literature that deals with the immigrant experience, with that part of the world, rather than sort of middle class French art films, Street of Thieves is a very interesting novel and well worth reading. And Fitzcarraldo editions are well worth supporting. They do fantastic work. Thank you very much.